If you are a Ghanaian or an African, you are definitely going to be very happy for Abdul Fatawu Isiaku. The Ghanaian has become the new sensation for Leicester City. And tonight, he scored his first career hat-trick. They defeated Southampton by 5-0 in the championship, and Abdul Fatawu Isiaku alone scored 3 of the goals, including providing an assist for Leicester City. And the reason why many people are elated for this guy is that for a lot of Ghanaians, we've come to know Abdul Fatawu Isiaku. He's just 20, he just turned 20 last month. But this is a player that for 4 years, since he was 15, 16, many Ghanaians have touted him as the next Abedi Pele, the next big thing. And indeed, he's been living the dream. He's currently living the dream and having the best of his times at Leicester City. The reason why we are happy also is the fact that Abdul Fatawu Isiaku moved from Ghana's Dreams FC and Steadfast FC to Sporting CP in Portugal for around 1.2 million for a youngster. He was a teenager when he moved, but then the move to Sporting CP, even though was well publicized, the player was just close to signing for Bayer Leverkusen, but for 1 or 2 reasons, the deal fell through. He went to Sporting CP, and for 2 seasons, he failed to break into the first team, regardless of what Ghanaians and many people had known him for, the potential that he had. We saw him playing for the reserve team of Sporting CP, but Ruben Amorim had already stated that the player was surplus to requirement, contrary to the opinion and views held by a lot of football pundits and fanatics in Ghana. But then there is happiness and there is joy on the mountain. And the joy is that Abdul Fatawu Isiaku has found his feet at Leicester City. He's been incredible. He's been completely incredible for Leicester City since signing. And there are some undertones, there are some significant contributions or factors that have accounted for Abdul Fatawu Isiaku having a very good season. A 20-year-old, at the moment, Abdul Fatawu Isiaku, as I can state, has scored 6 goals and provided 12 assists. That is a multiple of assists for Leicester City. That is 18-goal contribution in his first season. This is incredible. We thought he was coming to Leicester City to try and break into the team in the first season and possibly get his loan deal formalized or regularized by Leicester City so we could see him better in the second season. But he's helped Leicester City and they are nearing promotion back into the Premier League. The factors includes: 1, Abdul Fatawu Isiaku played only 118 minutes for Sporting CP in Portugal. He failed to break into the first team, played only 118 minutes the entire season for Sporting CP. So what may have accounted for the trusts that Leicester City had in a player who had not even broken into the first team of Sporting CP to come to England, where the league is so robust, very aggressive, and requiring extreme technical expertise to be a professional there. So that is a very important scouting. Why did they choose to go in for Abdul Fatawu Isiaku and not any player else? We in Ghana, a lot of journalists and football pundits in Ghana, like I've mentioned, are already aware of Abdul Fatawu Isiaku's talents, and that is very latent. We know what he could do. Had a very powerful left foot in the African Under-20 Championship, was the best player, was making mincemeat of defenders in the Ghana Premier League. We thought he had outlived the league even as a 17-year-old. But he's been completely different. The transformation has been very mercurial at Leicester City. And some of the factors that people have mentioned to us with respect to Abdul Fatawu Isiaku's incredible form at Leicester City has got to do with this. 1, this is a guy who is very young, very bubbly, wants fun, wants a place. People misconstrue Abdul Fatawu Isiaku's openness and warmth and ready to have fun as being unserious, but that is contrary to what we hear from the training grounds. He's a player who is very serious in terms of training, in terms of taking his instructions from coaches. But one thing that people do not understand is that he's a player who is very lively. He wants to have fun. Possibly, this is a way that he wants to kill the stress and boredom as a youngster, 17-year-old moving to Portugal, the first time going to Europe. It's not too easy to break into the team. Football has gone beyond just being on the field. One thing that has been very crucial in helping Abdul Fatawu Iheanacho settle in England, and particularly at Leicester, is because of this. I've heard people around in England, people who are closer to the player, saying the moment he hits the ground in Leicester, he was welcomed into the team by Iheanacho, who is a supremely experienced African in England, having played for top teams, having played for Leicester from Premier League to the Championship. There is nothing much more for him to buckle under pressure. So once Abdul Fatawu Iheanacho entered the fray at Leicester City, Iheanacho, and particularly Wilfred Ndidi and the African trio there, including Pat Sindaka, welcome him. But the main point has got to do with his bond with Wilfred Ndidi, and particularly Iheanacho. You know, this is a youngster. This is a 16, 17-year-old who is potentially the next big thing to happen to Ghana football, who is trying to break into a team in Portugal and struggling to do that, and who is so confused. There are a lot of people who believe that he moved to Leicester City was not a right thinking move, was not an appropriate one. He was not well suited. But I don't know who he consulted, but what I have been told by people at Leicester City is the fact that Abdul Fatawu Iheanacho has been smiling, has been laughing, has been living his life a lot because he has been under the tutelage of Iheanacho. The Nigerian welcomed the Ghanaian into the fray like a little brother, literally welcoming him, teaching him, trying to make him comfortable and adjust to the environment. You know, after the games, I speak to a lot of footballers, especially when I travel to Europe in particular. You speak to footballers and they tell you that football is beyond what happens on the field. When the game is over and you go home, sometimes when you lose or you have a bad day and there is no one to speak to closer to you, that is when you begin to break down. Many footballers have gone to Europe and returned, not because they didn't have the talent, but because of how to adjust. So we must not lose sight of the fact that the Nigerian contingent, in particular at Leicester City, including Ndidi and Iheanacho, we've watched the videos. We should not underrate the impact and significance of what does to the confidence of a player like Fatawu. He's been giving his best at training, but it takes someone to come to you and say, you did well at training today. Charlie, you dey play good, oh. Charlie, where you learn football from? You know, Nigeria and Ghana bond. Somebody to give you the confidence that you are too good. You make a mistake at training, you need somebody to come to you after training and say, Charlie, forget, these things happen. Tomorrow you are going to kill it. These things are the most important that we, the fans, don't see, that we journalists don't appreciate. But what I have heard from people closer to him is that he settled in because of the environment created by Iheanacho and the likes of Wilfred Ndidi. So he came in and everything has been so smooth for him. He did not have that privilege at Portugal. In Portugal, he was alone. He did not even have Africans in the team to be closer. But now he closes from training and he knows that there's a big brother to drive me from training to my house. There's a big brother that I can call and say, we have a free day. Charlie, where are you taking me to? These things are very crucial, important. So, instead of discounting them, we need to appreciate that going into a team of that nature. It happened for Michael Essien and Drogba, Solomon Kalou and co. When you have a contingent like that, it is always crucial. When there is a team like that around you, it is always crucial that you will flourish. You will be able to get the kind of environment you want to grow. So commendations to Kelechi Iheanacho, who is very experienced in this terrain and helping Fatawu Ishaku settle. Fatawu has mentioned that in a couple of interviews. I know most of you have watched videos of him playing with Ndidi, being filmed by Ndidi, or filming Kelechi Iheanacho, trying to release pressure. This is a picture that this was after the second or third game, when he scored and went to Kelechi Iheanacho after the game and hugged him deeply, like a brother who has been standing by you. You know, we cannot discount this, especially if you understand the intricacies of European football for a youngster and teenager like Abdul Fatawu Ishaku. The comfort and adaptability has been facilitated and smoothened by the existence of players, or the presence of players like Kelechi Iheanacho, who have been very, very instrumental in helping the player have a very good settlement at Leicester City. So this is something that we can also speak about. The player has been having the season of his life. It's not easy to help a team return to the Premier League, contribute 16 goals. 16 goals. This is by Mesut Ozil and the likes of Alcantara, providing that number of assists. Number of assists in the first season for a youngster in a team like Leicester City. It takes a lot to do that. So this is the first factor. And the second factor has got to do with this. Abdul Fatawu Ishaku signed for Sporting CP for 1.2 million euro from Ghana's Dreams FC and Steadfast. But then, see, 1.2 million euro was the amount of money quoted by Transfer Markets, one of the most reliable sites, as having been the money paid by Sporting for Abdul Fatawu. But then his release clause is 60 million euro. 60 million. You sign a player for 1.2 million and the release clause is 60 million. It tells you what they had identified and the prospect they found in Fatawu Ishaku. So this 60 million is a price tag. He's been on loan at Leicester City, where he's having a very good career. So the loan deal stipulates that Abdul Fatawu Ishaku can move permanently from Sporting CP to Leicester, depending on his availability for more than 60% of games. So if he's able to make 60% of games for Leicester, then that price tag of 60 million euro will be shattered. Leicester can actually acquire him for 17 million euro from 16. So that is, more than, less than 20% of the actual prize money. Why so? So it was the intendment or intention of Sporting CP to see Abdul Fatawu Ishaku play a lot of games to be able to facilitate his development. But how many clubs were willing to offer a 19-year-old that kind of opportunity? Leicester have done that. He broke into the first team after just a month. Now he's a mainstay in the team. He's played over 80% of the games, more than the required 60% in the contractual agreement. Leicester City can now acquire him. They have an option to acquire him for 17 million. 17 million for Fatawu Ishaku, and the performances that is exhibited for Leicester is way a big bargain for Leicester. And I'm not sure they will let this slip, depending on how Sporting CP will not want to play ball with them because of, and I'm sure Abdul Fatawu Ishaku will choose without any reluctance to stay at Leicester City. He'll be crazy to say he's going back to Sporting CP. But this is something that also gave the player some sort of confidence to boost his morale, that I need to play this number of games and stay. I have Kudus, I have Kamal Dean, I have Semenyo. All these players are around in England. England is so cosmopolitan that I can easily get to know players that I can move to from Ghana or whatever. So these are some of the factors. Now he's broken the first one, he's broken the second one. Leicester City are closer. They are inches away from the Premier League. Who wouldn't want to play in the Premier League, especially not coming in as a newbie, but having helped the team instrumentally to qualify to the Premier League or game promotion? So these are some of the factors that I think has helped Abdul Fatawu Ishaku to be the player, the monster that we knew him before he went to Europe. And this is very good news for Ghana, and commendations, like I said, credit to the Nigerian contingent, Nigeria and Ghana. our brothers. We've always been this. No wonder the comments around there and the insights being thrown about how Kelechi Iheanacho helped Abdul Fatawu to settle very smoothly at Leicester City. Thank you very much, and we wish all the players there, especially the African contingent, the African quartet there, Patson Daka, Wilfred Ndidi, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Fatawu himself. We wish them the best. They beat Southampton by 5-0. They are 4 points ahead, and it's very likely that they will secure promotion back into the Premier. It's a team that every neutral loves to watch and support from the Tinkerman Claudio Ranieri's day. So let's see how it goes. But congratulations to Abdul Fatawu. Long may this form continue. The next big thing to happen to Ghana football. Congratulations to him. We think that he will come good and he will continue with a smile. So let's listen to an interview he had with a journalist after a game when the fans were singing his "It's Not Easy." Let's first watch this.
Yes. Abdul is waiting for.
Well, so here he's been signing autographs and has become a fan favorite. And reason why he runs to the fans after every game, he's explained in this video also.
Celebrating with those travelling supporters.
Yes, yeah, you know, it's always amazing playing with the supporters, and we are in the field because of them as well. We need to make them happy. So I have nowhere to go to. I just needed to go to them because they were here for us and to celebrate with them, and I feel so good and happy.
That song seemed to be sung for about 10 minutes after you scored your song. How does it feel when you hear those supporters singing your name like that?
The song always give me more energy when I hear them singing, and it's a great feeling, and feel so happy, and sometimes it's so emotional because I feel so happy about the song and the fans, and yeah, that's why we are on the field, and we are ready to always do our best to make them happy.
Well, thank you very much for watching, and keep on watching our videos, share and subscribe as we get more insight into Ghana football and Ghana sports. Thank you very much.